Welcome back to My Bride is a Mermaid anime review episodes. This one I'm covering not 4 episodes, mind you. This one I'm covering 7 episodes. Episodes 18 to 24, which I kind of thought this was the last kind of episode, but who knows. Yes, and I got curious because apparently the Wiki site basically for this series will not give me bother a damn answer exactly what the episodes of which chapter. And here's kind of the strange thing. I've looked up on here, I've looked up in various places. Heck, the Wikipedia site is basically so pitiful when it comes to naming the chapter names. And it's so stupid the fact that chapters 35 through 37 are simply just not available online. I have no idea why. I've looked on various websites looking for these damn 3 chapters. Can't find them. None at all, which I think is quite stupid. The fact that it's like this. So, since the fact the Wiki site's not helping me, Wikipedia site's not helping me, so I decided to do my own research and figure out exactly how much of the manga was adapted. I've heard from one Reddit site it was the first 32 chapters, though 32 might be adapted for episodes 25 and 25 and 26. But what about the first 24 episodes? Yes. Now, the only episode I could not find exactly what chapter was adapted from was 24. That could be easily been a filler episode, and I can see why. It's very pitiful. Yes. Now, mostly put from the first 23 episodes, they adapt most of the first 33 chapters. I'd say all but 2. 18 is not actually adapted for the main series. I think it might be adapted for one of the OVAs, but I'll get to that basically when I get to the OVAs. The first episode obviously adapts chapter 1. Episode 2 adapts 2 chapters, 2 and 3. 3 adapts chapter 4. 4 surprisingly adapts chapters 5 and 7. 5 adapts chapters 6, 8 through 10. Yeah, it does. 6 adapts chapter 11. 7 because it is basically a 2-parter. Adapts chapters 12 to 14, 9 has 15, 10 adapts 16 and 17, 11 adapts 19, 12 is 20, 13 is 21, 22, because it's a big episode, 14 is 23, basically 14 to 27 adapts chapters 23 to 26, 18 and 19, another 2-parter. This one adapts chapters 27 and 28 series. Yep. 20 adapts chapter 30. 21 and 31. 22 is 34. Yeah. 23 adapts 33. Now, what happens in these particular episodes? Well, in the case of 18 and 19, it's a 2-parter where the characters go to Kyoto. Yep. Kyoto. Now, not the first series I've seen where you have characters go to Kyoto for a field trip. This is the second series I've seen like this, though this came out years before Case Closed did it. Yeah, Case Closed did it in the anime last year. This came out, this was 12 years prior. Yeah, 12 years prior. Yep. And, so, but they go to Kyoto, just have a field trip. And at one point you have, there's like one point in the manga, basically, where it's a side bit where they skip over this one in the episode. Yeah, they basically just travel around Kyoto, look at the sights. Maki basically tries to soak Akeno. And, well, this before they get this, basically, you have Nagasaki invites Akeno, basically, to take place with him. And she thinks that he tricked her to get wet, and just forgive him for it. Now, I should point out, though, in the anime, unlike in the manga, you do see her mermaid form. I looked it up. The anime, no, they don't, because next time we see her, she's perfectly fine. Yep, and then they run into Lunar, who actually was not available to film. Apparently, she was in Kyoto to shoot a movie. Okay. Oh, there was actually one of her series that actually had characters go to Kyoto. That was actually Mishima Kenshin, but that was actually part of a story arc. But as for modern day, aside from Case Closed series, I can't think of any other ones. Yeah, because a lot of them basically, the ones that are set in modern day and are not set in their dimension, usually heavily take place in Tokyo itself or go to a different city, but never goes to Kyoto for some reason. I don't know why. So they shoot a movie, and Akano basically convinces the three fishermen plus Maki to work with her to try to break up, basically, because he's ordered by one of her captain to break up the relation between Nagasaki and Sun. So they do it by having them drink this particular stuff, this mermaid drink. Everybody drinks it, and they all act completely irrational. Heck, they have Minari drink. Pretty much everybody drinks it, and everybody acts for their particular desires. Sun, apparently, her desire is Nagasaki. Mm-hmm. But it's a fun little trip, and then, of course, the very next episode, they have briefly from book chapter 32 for this bit, where, like, after the trip is over with, they have Lunar, basically, who can spend any time. So, yeah. Yeah, in 20, ugh, this was a weird one. Yeah, 20 actually adapts chapter 30 for the series. Yes, chapter 30. They skip over 29. Yeah, 29 is surprisingly not adapted for the series. Another chapter they skipped over. My guess, OVA. So, you have Lunar's father shows up, who still acts like the frickin' Terminator. You have no idea why the writer of the series acts like the frickin' Terminator. And he pretty much basically tries to make Lunar happy. So so basically he's kind of stalking at school, and of course Nagasaki basically finds out about this. He gets thrown to a game and starts cosplaying as a girl. Yeah, Luna does like this. Oh, by the way, in the very next episode, does the same thing. Yeah, and apparently Gozeberg gets on it along with a couple of his subordinates. Ren herself actually is wearing a completely different outfit she's wearing in the manga. In the manga, she wears, along with her lab coat, she wears a white button-up shirt and a tie. In the anime, she wears her normal stuff. She wears basically kind of like this dress look that she's known wearing in the series. Yeah, they have her wear that instead of the button-up shirt that she wore in this chapter. It's a minor change. And she gets honor for embarrassing, for these two, for embarrassing Lunar and Sun. And, well, Lunar's dad basically gets on this a little bit later, but that's pretty much that. It's a very odd episode, to say the least. 21 is one of the most weirdest episodes of the series that starts something that the anime does nothing with. Yep. Basically, Nagasaki receives a love letter. Who is it from? This one, it's kind of implied it could be the class rep, basically, these love letters to. Yeah, this happens twice in the episode. And it's kind of hinted at that possibly the boss is to basically trick him to take him out. And of course, Ren finds out about this and proceeds to beat the living crap out of her husband and her two subordinates. Does nothing to Sun. Nope, does nothing to Sun. It's revealed the person in love letters is the class rep, who actually confessed her feelings for Sun, even though that it was supposed to be for Nagasaki because she's got a thing for him. And yeah. But in this very same episode, oh boy, this was by far one of the most, even the manga basically, this was weird. Yeah. This chapter 31. Okay, the Game of the Love Letter stuff, basically, Nagasaki takes a drink from Ren, who makes him popular. So, apparently after drinking it, Ren starts falling for him. Yes, Ren. Sun's mother starts falling for him. And like every girl is affected by this, with the exception of class, so apparently she's not affected by this. Does it go anywhere? Nope, because the anime ended not long after this episode. Yeah, it ended like roughly 5 episodes after this because they don't bother doing anything with this at all with the whole crush on her. Yeah, it's one of the most weirdest things. And all the guys, and have this, here's the thing, all the girls, all the now Sun basically, yeah, she's in love with Nagasaki, so that was completely true, though her acting the way she did, every series as Nagasaki is a hunk, that was something, and all the guys hate him. Like, this happens at the most of the episode, And apparently this only happens when they're looking at him. Yeah, so... hmm Yeah, so pretty much, I think wears off after like a day. Everyone's perfectly back normal. They have the love letter thing. That's when the class rep turns to an Amazon because she actually confesses feelings for Nagasaki to Sun. By complete accident comes Amazon, who starts lusting after Sun for some reason. And this thing doesn't come again in the series. It's just basically a minor thing. Of this I'm talking about. Next we have Privilege. It was kind of an odd one. Another one. This one adapts surprisingly from chapter 30. Yeah, I thought this was kind of odd. Yeah, I think opens up basically Sun dressed up as a guy. I'm not kidding about that. Sun dressed up as a guy, claiming to be Lunar's boyfriend. Well, in the manga it says lover. They changed to boyfriend, probably because calling lover makes absolutely no sense in modern day to do. So, pretty much like right after this, yeah. So, first half of the episode has basically her dressing up as her and just, well, not really going much anywhere. They try to for soap opera, doesn't really work out too well. And then Maki becomes a ventriloquist puppet because she has another thing to try out. And apparently she's attached to Lunar's hand. And because the fact that apparently someone was in danger during the later half of the episode, she ends up injuring Lunar, puts her in the hospital for about 3 days. And she's still recovering. Yeah, it's another odd one to say the least. Yeah. 23 by far out of these 7 episodes, aside from episodes 18 and 19. This one is a great character episode from Masa. Yeah, Akano talks to Masa about Sun's swordplay, asks did he teach her basically how to use a sword. He says, yes. Who taught you? He says, I don't remember. Yep, it's revealed that Masa suffers amnesia. Basically, he does not remember anything before he joined the Sato group. He does not remember at all. So, and apparently whenever he holds a sword, he kind of remembers it. Yeah, and apparently Gozaburo is actually responsible for his amnesia by pure accident. And it turns out he was actually previously a mermaid examiner. Yes, that was his previous job. And basically during the courses, and there's a bunch of hijinks, and apparently Nagasaki act like he's gay just because he doesn't want, well, Masa to remember who he really was. Though he does eventually remember everything, much to Gozaburo's credit. Basically, he does not hold a grudge to Gozaburo for keeping this secret from him. And he's happy his sister is fine. And, oh, in case you're wondering, does Masa show up in the very next episode? He does, and does absolutely nothing. Now, I consider this to be one of the best episodes of the series because it actually, well, has the character from Mas. I'm sure Sab basically enjoyed doing this episode because it seemed like he had a really good time in this episode, especially playing 2 different versions of the same character. Yes. 24. Ugh. I tried looking this up and see exactly what chapter this is adapted from. Couldn't find one. Yeah. It's basically this. That Kerr, the guy who claimed to be who was one of my son's childhood friends, one of several of them she's had. Because usually when characters suffer just like 1 or 2, she's apparently had several. Yeah. So, he apparently has got a boil on his butt. Yes, a boil on his butt. And he tricks everyone to think he has a fatal disease and thinks he dies at the end of the episode, but nope, he shows up next school for the next day, perfectly fine. Yes. This episode felt like a filler episode. The main characters did pretty much nothing the whole episode. It's all about Kerr. In my opinion, the worst episode of the entire series. I have no problem with the character. He's fine. I have no problem with him at all. But this whole thing of him being embarrassed by a boil on his butt, that is bit. And apparently he went to a clinic where apparently everybody saw him and think, oh yeah, he's got a cold, despite the fact he's actually coughing. And here's kind of the thing. When you have a cold, you can basically either be sneezing or coughing. I've had both, so saying that apparently a cold can also not be a cough as well, they're part of the same thing, so yeah. 24 is utterly a useless episode. It's easily a skippable episode. You can go straight to episode 25, 26, no problem at all. And this basically amounts to nothing over the course of the events in the series. I would say out of all these episodes, 18, 19, really good episodes. Love the whole Kaito stuff. 20 is not very good, despite the fact it's a canon episode. 21, funny. I thought the beginning and end portion of this episode, Love Letter, that's a minor thing. I kind of thought that they should have developed this a bit more. But the whole thing of the thing that Nagasaki drinks, and all the girls fall for him, and apparently, get this, it also affects his mother, who thinks he's Masa. Yeah, she has a crush on Masa, which goes absolutely nowhere in the series. Yeah, and apparently all the guys hate him. So, yeah. That's basically a comedy piece, basically, which is 10 Things I Hate About You. 22 is a interesting episode. I wouldn't go back to it anytime soon. 23, really good episode. Like, by far, in my opinion, one of the best episodes of the whole series. Farewell to a Friend. Yeah. It's, simply put, like I said, the worst episode of the whole series. I've been forgetting to mention this. With the exception of the pilot episode, like, every episode is, all the titles of the episodes are named after movies. 2 is called Lord of the Ring, which is named after Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings novel. Island Close to Heaven, basically, is not an episode of a movie. It's Tough Being a Man. That's named after the Japanese film. School in the Crosshairs, named after the manga series Psychic School Wars. Fables is a 1959 French-Italian movie. V Visitors, obviously the V series. Duel is actually a movie. I haven't seen this movie. It's actually, it's directed by Steven Spielberg. It's a really odd movie where a guy basically is being stalked by a oil tanker truck. Yeah, the events of the truck is super in the movie. The Running Man, a Schwarzenegger movie. Yeah. Iron Man, no, it's named after the Iron Man character, not the film, obviously. Despite the fact the episode had a ton of references to Terminator and Total Recall. Yeah, and Luna's a lot like, well, Schwarzenegger. Armageddon, obviously named after the movie. Slave of Love is a 1976 Soviet romantic comedy movie. Love Story, which I have seen this movie. It's a movie with Ali McGraw and Steve McQueen. Actually, it's a different character. 14 is after the adventures of Milo and Otis, a Japanese adventure movie featuring animals. There's a live action version of it. What's Your Name? Yeah, that is not from a movie. Minority Report, obviously, a Tom Cruise movie. Cops vs. Thugs. A 1975 Yakuza movie. Gate of Flesh. A Japanese horror, looked like a Japanese horror movie. No, I've never seen it. This is a business like Show Business. Named after the 1954 American movie from 20th Century Fox, A Better Tomorrow. A 1986 John Woo movie. Yes, a John Woo movie. 10 Things I Hate About You. I've heard about this one. Yeah, it's starring Julia Stiles and Heath Ledger. Yeah, I've heard it. I've never seen it. Privilege. 1967 British film. The Man Without a Past. 2002 Finnish film. With looks like I'm looking at the picture for it. It looks like even though it was made modern day, it looks like it used like 50s style artwork for its poster. Farewell to a Friend is named after a French Italian heist movie. Looks like with Charles Bronson. Yes, a Charles Bronson movie. Hmm? Yeah, if Bond movies, I have. I've seen the Death Wish movies, the original Dirty Dozen, and that's it. That's all I've seen for Charlton Heston. Hmm. Yeah, the last two episodes. Let's see. After, I think it's the yeah, yeah. Film 15, that's the game. That's the final episode of the series. Annie Fisher. That's named after a 2002 Denzel Washington movie. Yep. But yeah, I will do a little research basically on the OVAs in the final two episodes after I watch them. But all in all, okay episodes. I would say there's only three really good ones. 18, 19, 23 are really good ones. Are probably the best ones. All these. 21 is just a comedy piece. 20 is an episode that's there. You can watch it if you want to. Privilege. Oddball episode. 24. Skip. Just skip this episode. It's not worth your time, basically, to watch this stupid episode. Okay, so that's it for this particular review. I have my next film hoping to do probably really soon because there's only just a couple episodes left to go for the anime. Yeah, part 6 probably up really soon after this video up. Though I'm doing next basically the review of the news chapter Fire Force. Yes, I'm doing a new chapter for Fire Force next. And Blue Exorcist. But until we see you next video, bye.